How's it going, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about something, or someone, a bit more accurately, who I cannot go more than 30 seconds without seeing on my Instagram. And that's Sam Sulek, who I'm pretty sure everybody knows now. He's just blew up absolutely massive on social media over the last year, and he's now one of the top fitness influencers out there. He probably just sits below me in the pecking order. And I'm just going to be talking to you about his training and his dieting and a few other bits and pieces, and just what you need to keep in mind when you're watching all his stuff, and what you maybe can copy, what you definitely shouldn't copy. And I'm going to leave you with a pretty important message at the end. Now, before we get into it, if you could please make sure to like the video, leave me a subscribe. Helps me out massively, costs you nothing, eternally grateful, all that good stuff. So please just go and do that. So I know everybody knows who Sam Sulek is and what he does and some of the mad stuff that he talks about, and yeah, he's just like, he's everywhere now. And part of the reason that he's everywhere is because he is very polarizing in terms of what he does, and he very much takes things to the extreme and creates that sort of effect where you either absolutely love him or you absolutely hate him. And I'm going to just kind of run through a few different pieces in terms of just the overall sort of outlook on him and what he does, and then also just his training and diet and various aspects of that, and just, yeah, things for you to just keep in mind. So first of all, what is really important to remember with Sam Sulek is, first and foremost, before anything, he is an entertainer. Like, everything he's doing is for entertainment, and what he's showing you for a reason. Sometimes that might be the genuine truth of what he's doing and the actual reality of it. Sometimes he might be embellishing stuff. Sometimes he might be trying to make out he's doing something he's not really doing. Now, I don't know, and I'm not saying that he's absolutely lying about everything he's doing, but there's a lot of things that he shows that he does and says that he does, like his diet, which I'll come on to, that just, I look at his physique and I'm like, how the fuck do you actually look like that, eating that sort of diet? And that's just one thing in particular. So just keep in mind that he's not so much, you know, a teacher or an educational person who you should be going to for information, but you should be going to him to get an actual little bit of entertainment. And I'm sure through that you will learn a little bits and pieces about training. Now, following on from that, the next thing just to remember, and it's not the fact that he lies about it in any way, shape or form, and I actually very much commend him for being so open about it, and that's the fact that he's just filled himself full of gear. And I think he's like a prime example that in a world where everybody and celebrities and influencers just lie about taking stuff, that when you're actually open and honest about it, it gets you a lot more respect, and it actually makes you a lot more endearing towards people. And I think that's one of the things that works so well with him, that he is very open about, you know, the substances that he takes, and he doesn't try to hide it. So yeah, I think that makes him a lot more likable. But just bear that in mind from a training point of view, that if you're not taking anything, and I'd like to think you're not taking certainly half as much as what he takes, but the stuff that he's doing and the results he's getting from his training and his diet just isn't like realistic for anyone who's not taking stuff. And a lot of the reason that he does, the main reason, to be quite honest, that he looks the way that he does is purely down to the drugs that he's taking. So just bear that in mind. So don't think that you can go and do what he does and expect a similar result when he's just like full of everything. Now, Sam Sulek's training, what do I actually think about the actual training that he does himself? Now, I would say first and foremost, the most important thing that I've always preached, and if you've watched me for long enough and listened to me for long enough, you know exactly where I'm going with this. He trains fucking hard, and that is a main reason why his training works. It's not the most polished, it's not the most prettiest, he's certainly not got the most structured training split, if that is indeed how he's training regularly. His form and all that good stuff, nothing's great, there's a lot of it, there's a lot to be desired. He does a lot of like partial movements and just spamming, just like not so great technique on like exercises, and just spams reps out. And it works for him partly because he trains so fucking hard, and that's what you need to remember. You can actually get a lot of results from doing everything really shite, but just trying really hard at it, and that's what he does. In terms of everything else he does, again, just taking it at face value from what I see, it's not really that great, but I love the fact that he just pushes himself as hard as he can. Now, his diet, on the other hand, is an absolute shambles, and this is where, from what I see, I'm like, there's no way, even with the drugs, there's absolutely no way you can eat as bad as you do and you like still like look like that. Like, it actually just blows my mind, and I don't understand it. I think probably in the space of a day he's had more chocolate milk than I've had in my whole life, and like just like some of the stuff he does, it is just mental. And again, I do think a lot of it's maybe for the camera, and I think he's probably not actually doing that all the time behind the scenes. But there is no doubt about it, his diet's absolutely shocking. So if you think you're going to go and like do what he does and get anywhere remotely close to a good result, never mind results close to him, you're just pissing in the wind. It's just, it is miles off it. It's absolutely terrible. So he's full of gear. His training's got a lot to be desired. His diet's absolutely shite. So what can you actually learn from him? What do I think is an actual very important message that you can learn from him? And that's the fact that he just fucking does what he loves. And more than above anything than about fucking good training splits and trying to achieve this goal and that goal and being disciplined and all that stuff, that's obviously very important, but what's got to be at the crux of it is like you doing what you enjoy doing. And he loves training like a maniac. He loves eating the pish that he does. Not this, I shouldn't really be condoning this, and I'm not condoning it, but I hope it doesn't sound like I'm condoning it, but he just fills himself full of gear because at the end of the day, that's what he wants to do, and it's certainly not the best thing for his health. And you know, he could do a lot of different things with his training and get a lot better results, but at the end of the day, he just trains the way he wants. He does all like the partial movements and he pushes himself like to the brink of death, and like it works for him partly because he just loves what he's doing, and that's what your training needs to be. If your training is just like doing it for the sake of doing it, like it's not something that you truly love and you truly like look forward to doing, then what's the fucking point in doing it? And that doesn't just go for the gym, by the way, that just goes for like everything like in your life. Like, and I'm not just like going to say, aye, just do what you want to do and condone bad behaviour or the consequences from it, but yeah, at the end of the day, he does everything that he wants to do. And like, yeah, like you couldn't really ask for much more than that, can you? Like, especially in the gym, like if you do the exact training that you want to do every day and you look forward to doing it and you love doing it, like that's like the best program anybody could ever have, regardless if it's actually the best training or not. So just keep that in mind. And you know, if you're not in that situation yourself where you absolutely love doing your training and you're training in a way that you know, you absolutely want to do it, and you maybe think, oh, well, it's not quite optimal, or I could be doing this better or that better. Like, yeah, okay, sometimes like you do actually have to look at things honestly and be like, right, okay, I maybe don't enjoy doing certain things, but it's the best way to do things and the right way to do things. But the actual starting point and all the way through to the end point should be, this is what you love to do, and you're doing the stuff that you want to do, and you love to do, and you look forward to doing. And just apart from anything else, the actual effort that you put into the things you love to do is going to be so much more than the stuff you hate doing, and that's just basically going to just lift everything, lift your results, lift your progress, and yeah, just keep that in mind. So that's my 2 cents on Sam Sulek. The memes are fucking brilliant. I probably should have included that in there somewhere, and I do very much enjoy them. So if anybody wants to ever send me Sam Sulek memes, you can send me on my Instagram, which is linked in the description below, so go and give me a follow and keep an eye out for my official beginning of the year coaching spaces going live just now. However, if you do want in early, please feel free to drop me a message now, but spaces will be going live very soon. And that's everything from me, and I'll see you in the next video.